It's me again, Peter. And don't you just love how big and inefficient vacuum tubes are?
What is that? Computers in the 50s were disgusting. They took up a living room and a basement with all their doohickeys and still needed a highly advanced AC system to even run.
They didn't even have a monitor.
Why did they get the honor of having the first video games? Well, someone was bored of using them for math. So when Visitors' Day of 1958 at Brookhaven National Laboratory came around, a man named William A. Just read the screen, created an interactive exhibit. So, what's the gameplay? This setup was called Tennis for Two, and is widely recognized as the very first video game. Interestingly enough, Will here used the missile trajectory calculations from his work on the Manhattan Project when making the physics of the ball. Huh. In fact, he was at the lab because they were against nuclear use.
But one Donner Model 30 and a Proline oscilloscope weren't going to cut it for the gaming industry. Thankfully, in the 60s, things were picking up with the release of the PDP-1.
No more vacuum tubes, yeah! The PDP-1 came packed in with transistors to conduct the electricity and a built-in monitor. And it was only the size of 3 fridges.
Only.
But sadly, no one really saw the use until some hot-headed college kids read up on circuitry and the current space race against the USSR, stared at the PDP for a while and said, "You know what would be fun? Space War, the thing every MIT student just had to play."
The game was simple. 2 players, 2 ships, kill each other.
Apparently, the way you originally controlled the game was through flicking different levers on the PDP. Turn left, flick that one. Go forward, that one on the top there, just flick it. Fire?
Flick it.
But who cares? How does it play? Great. Eventually, there would be hundreds of versions of Space War, even some that tried, and failed, to be the first arcade game. Soon enough, games like Asteroids would take the gameplay and improve it beyond belief. But hey, give it credit, it made every college want a PDP. But computers didn't stop at the PDP, oh no. IBM had a vision, a computer in everyone's home that they had sold.
Nah!
IBM created the first line of home computers, called System 360s. They were also the first to make the software separate from the hardware. While it was just so they could make more money, that didn't mean it wasn't revolutionary. Moving away from computers, though, a guy named Ralph Baer was waiting for the bus when he had an amazing idea. What if you could play games on a TV? He built a prototype with some friends, and sure enough, it was possible. Now, this prototype was nicknamed the Brown Box from the amount of masking tape holding it together.
Maybe that's where Steven got the orange box idea.
He ended up working with the company Magnavox to release the first true home gaming system, the Odyssey. This thing was amazing. It had multiple games, it came with 2 whole controllers, and a poker set if you were interested.
Oh yeah, now I have to buy it.
It was fine, it sold fine, but they had to not only sell you on their thing, but home gaming as a whole. The whole thing was pretty much just an early version of Pong with extra modes. So when Pong hit the pubs soon thereafter, this sucker didn't have much influence on its own. Except on the legal side of things. Yeah, turns out Mr. Ralph Baer here filed the first patent in gaming history.
Yeah, Peter, tell us more about the legal side of things. Because we all just really want to know about the legal side of things. Wow, this stuff is so cool. So I built one and... Why is my house on fire? Dang it, I thought I had good enough AC.